Welcome, chat, to another season of the best huddle ever. This is our Big Data Bowl team introduction stream. Last year, I ventured out and I dared to ask a question, and it was, can I be the general manager of a Big Data Bowl team and win? And while I assembled an all-star team of Kaglers and Big Data Bowlers, we did fall a little short of our finalist aspirations. But this year, I think the team, although a few rookies last year, the team has an entire Big Data Bowl season under their belt, and we're retooled, and I believe there is a place where you could develop all of your Big Data Bowl project tuning, data viz, everything you need in a place that's extremely accessible, and already hundreds of thousands of people are using this platform. It's Lambda. So if you're interested in the number one GPU cloud infrastructure that helps all sorts of machine learning engineering teams, data science teams, to help fine-tune, hyperparameter tune, all of the things that you're going to need to tune through in this Big Data Bowl, you should go check out Lambda. I believe my code still works for a free $20 at sign up !Lambda if you want to find out more. And they are a proud sponsor of my Big Data Bowl team. So thank you, Lambda. Claps in chat for Lambda. This year's Big Data Bowl, it's pre-snap information. Okay? It's pre-snap information. So we have a play, and before the play starts, players on offense and defense, they're able to maybe move around before the play begins. And so this is what we call pre-snap movement, pre-snap motion. And we're trying to come up with solutions or insights based around pre-snap motion, pre-snap value. So you have expected points, you have win probability. Can you assign value to the pre-snap movement to ultimately say this play success rate or this play value before the snap is X, right? The deadline is January 6th this year. So one thing that we want to know is we want Jan 6 to be a day of a special day. The agenda is always this. It's weird to say the word agenda after I have a big Jan 6 slide. I'll say that just overly honest right now. What are we working on this week? This is the team intro. So the first person I want to introduce, I would say the heartbeat of the team, the leader of the pack. It's Sam Kirshner is back. Sam Kirshner is back. Are you
hear that?
What is that? What do I hear?
That's the final countdown. That's my walk-in music. And just like Jesus Christ rose on the third day, I'm here for my third Big Data Bowl. How's it going? I like to think of it as, taking it one step at a day, saying no to the HiDiVi one step at a day. I'm now an advocate for responsible HiDiVi use. I'm still a brand ambassador, so there may be some HiDiVi related materials that'll float around here and there. I may still be peddling it. I still have some inventory I need to sell, but it's about responsible use, and it's about being one with the goat, not taking from the goat, giving to the goat. Symbiosis.
Oh,
living in harmony with our goat brothers.
you know, true and real. Both, both, you know, awesome. Good job. Thank you. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Sam. We're gonna introduce the next. I'm gonna introduce the next person on the team. Everyone will also be happy to hear of a returning member. Once a Big Data Bowl rookie, now a Big Data Bowl veteran. The vet presence, a year under their belt, and everyone knows. Maybe not needs no introduction, but Ghetto Bob is our next member to introduce on the team. Ghetto Bob in chat, of course. Ghetto Bob, not a big Ghetto Bob. Not a big Ghetto Bob. We haven't heard Ghetto Bob before. We talk to him all the time, but I think Sam has the update for Ghetto Bob. Do you have sort of what Ghetto Bob's been up to the last handful of months here?
I do, and there's a good reason we don't hear from Ghetto Bob, because last time around, near the end of the Big Data Bowl project, my man Ghetto Bob got outed. If you'll remember, Ghetto Bob, aka Scott Turner, aka William Miller, was outed on the stream. Well, somebody from the feds was listening, and they were looking for a said William Miller. And quickly after the Big Data Bowl wrapped, he got picked up for a defraud scheme where he was manipulating crypto markets with a pump and dump Sprite coin scheme. And so thankfully, he worked with the feds. He spent 6 months repenting for his crimes. But, we may not hear much from Ghetto Bob because he needs to keep himself under wraps. He's got some things going on that, he doesn't want the feds knowing about.
There is one more introduction. It's like a pre-introduction though. It's a pre-introduction, but there's one more introduction that I want to mention, and that's we're going to have a coach. So something that Sam has wanted for several Big Data Bowls now, but definitely one last year, and now hopefully this year, is we've wanted to compete in the coaching track. I have put out an ad looking for a coach, preferably Indianapolis-based, but if you go on Craigslist, the Indianapolis Craigslist, we have an ad for a football coach. So that was posted last night. We've had one response. So I am seeking out anyone who is interested in applying. You do have a lot of pros, as the ad will say. You won't need to draw up any game plans or deal with actual players. You have unlimited access to Hidevai. There are flexible hours, and there's zero chance you'll be asked to run a practice or call plays. Sam and I are going to take a trip down memory lane and do a little retrospective on 2024.
I think all in all, it went well. Now, there are some definite learnings that, in retrospect, we want to kind of focus on this year, clean a few things up, and things to avoid. So,
okay.
Thing to avoid, number one, don't get too cute. Now, what I mean by that is, I got pretty enamored with a particular idea. I saw Strain. They're taking material sciences and bringing it to football. I was like, what if we took some of these concepts from predator-prey interactions in the natural world, brought them to football? I think I got a little too cute with it. And actually, there were a few things looking back where the application didn't quite make full sense, and that got called out in some of the notes, particularly the fact that a runner would not make that parabolic shape, which makes sense because a runner is only going to go forward, they're not going to go backwards, and that parabolic shape was optimized towards the prey running anywhere. So in retrospect, got a little too cute with it. Don't get cute. That's rule number 1. Rule number
Good
2,
rule.
don't try and do too much. I've done this 2 years in a row where I did too much. I didn't have enough faith in one idea, so I tried to do 2 ideas or 2 things or maybe even 3 things. It's way too much. It kills your narrative. Like it's not that work is not important. So for instance, we did a Bayesian hierarchical model to break out the ability of executing a tackle versus pursuit. Of course, tackle is those 2 components, but a good project needs to just focus on one and do that one thing 100% well versus 2 things 80% well. So don't try to do too much. And that leads me to point number 3, focus. Focus on the topic, the idea, and just really drive into that, get it really clear, really crisp, get rid of all the extra bits around it that are going to take up time, that are going to, keep us from having a really clean narrative and a good notebook and a good story and a compelling, actionable project. Focusing on just a narrow topic. You do not have to solve the whole thing. We don't have to do both offense and defense. We don't have to do, every little aspect. Do one thing super, super well. Have it be clear. Have it be crisp. That's what's going to win. 4, start the notebook earlier. We started the notebook in the last week. Writing is difficult. Now, we did a bunch of data science up until that point, but the notebook still takes a lot of time. The number of edits on the language, took 14, 15 iterations because every sentence needs to be as concise as possible because you only have 2,000 words. And it's super, super hard to do 2,000 words. So start that notebook early, make it big, then worry about trimming it down. Number 5, and I cannot stress this enough, more interns. The best ROI in the world is 0 investment or some type of return. If I put $0 down, I get $1, that's infinite ROI. And you know what interns are? Unpaid. And so infinite ROI from our interns. We need more interns. We need maybe 100 interns. And so, 5 is more interns. So those are my top 5 takeaways that we're going to focus on in 2025 and get this thing done.
What are we working on this week? And I think this is a pretty easy one. We're just working on getting to know the Big Data Bowl. So, Sam, do you have any thoughts on just how maybe we might attack the Big Data Bowl? Just early returns this year?
The last 2 years, you knew right off the bat, all right, I need a pressure probability model to do something with. I need a tackle probability model to do something with. And so that's what I'm going to focus on is getting familiar with the data, doing some basic setup work, and then trying to get up to speed as much as possible on what's out there publicly about pre-snap. Maybe watch some All-22. Take a very football-focused approach this week versus data-focused approach.
Okay, I think that's fair. I like where your head's at here. I think there is so many things to explore, whether it is at the macro level of trying to assign value pre-snap, or at the micro level of like, are there certain motions that certain position players do that increase or decrease the probability of a certain event, right? it's very vast. So I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what's going to come out of this. It's there. It could be a lot of. It's kind of like it's reminiscent of the special teams Big Data Bowl, where it seemingly was like you could do kind of anything. And because it was so vast, I think some people kind of filtered into like a expected yards after catch model, but a lot of people started doing a lot of different weird special teams stuff, and I thought that was pretty interesting. So I feel like this is even more open than that.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna get you're gonna get all sorts. I think you're gonna get all sorts of projects. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see.
It'll be hard to judge. I don't envy the judges to have to split hairs between someone who does like pre-snap value and is able to assign a very accurate pre-snap value model versus like a outside linebacker blitz probability model with that uses pre-snap motion, right? Like both are very valuable. How does one beat the other? I think the devil truly is in the details here. One more announcement, chat. One more announcement for all of you. I would like everyone to know that yes, there is a Craigslist ad. The Craigslist ad is up, and there is now also an application. So exclamation coach in chat will get you both the posting to the Craigslist ad and also Nick Wayne's Indianapolis Colts coach application. So please, for those interested, please apply and take a look at the posting to see if it matches up with your career goals and aspirations. Well, with that all said, chat, I just want to give another shout out to Lambda, which is the #1 GPU cloud environment for machine learning teams, AI teams. If you're developing anything that requires some sort of model tuning, think about Lambda, exclamation Lambda, to get a $20 on account sign up. That's the first team meeting done. Our first team meeting in the bag.